Now, while we're talking about big, huge open world games, we were all kind of just, chatting like we do without microphones and cameras involved about underrated open world games. And I figure we could go around and share just a couple of those real quick. Uh, Jada, I think you have the correct answer here. What is it?
Oh, 100% I have the correct answer. And anybody who disagrees can tune off of this podcast forever. No, just kidding. My open world game of choice that's underrated is Sleeping Dogs. This game is just it's a masterclass in open world gameplay. All the side events feel wonderful. The story is awesome. The action, the minute to minute gameplay is fantastic. The story is solid. There's so many cool little quirky weird things that you'd get in like a Yakuza game, or Grand Theft Auto's like weirder stuff that you'd get in those. It really kind of echoed that true crime games we used to get back in the day, like, but up another notch.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the earlier games that used some of the like takedowns and environmental takedown stuffs on
That
the
was
PS.
so good.
Like,
Yeah, this began as True Crime Hong Kong, and then it got dumped by Activision, scooped up by Square Enix. We got this phenomenal game that probably should have just been called the most underrated open world game of all time, because I feel like more people would have bought that than a game called Sleeping Dogs, which sounds like some Nintendogs knockoff or something. But yeah, this game is so good. Anybody who hasn't checked it out, like, keep an eye out. It is regularly like $5 on sale. Jump on it, roll the dice, give it a shot. The DLC is also phenomenal. There's one whole thing that's basically like Thriller divided by Big Trouble in Little China, which is you fight hopping vampires. Very cool.
It's so wild. I love it.
Brian, what's your underrated open world game?
Same thing as I did before when I was thinking about PS2 games, but like when you asked me the question, I went with the first game that popped in my head, and I'm sticking with it. The Saboteur. And okay, I feel like this game is like truly slept on, and also like I don't even know if you can buy it anymore. Like, Sleeping Dogs is regularly on sale. I don't think you can buy the Saboteur. Like, I don't think you can open up the digital shops or on any of these consoles. Maybe it's still on Steam. But this game launched in 2009. It was one of those, a company outside of Rockstar is trying to make an open world crime game, and they're trying to take their own spin on it. And the story here is that you are basically in like a Nazi occupied France, and everything is black and white and red. But by kind of clearing out zones and doing story stuff and taking over districts and restoring them to once they what were, you literally bring color back into the world. There's also a lot of like burlesque stuff in this game.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask, what are we?
Yeah, there's this is not
children, avert your eyes.
This one was notable because it had DLC where you could pay to remove the tops for the burlesque in the burlesque
That's right.
It was like,
okay,
if you wanted nudity, like, you could pay for that.
Yeah,
in this
honestly, there should be like a subreddit or a support group or both for anyone who did that. Show yourselves. Like that should be public knowledge. But otherwise, like, traversal in this game was awesome because it had like the climbing of an Assassin's Creed, but like the carjacking and the shooting of like a GTA game. Right, like Ezio's great, and I love Assassin's Creed games. Those guys don't get guns and they don't steal vehicles, really. Every now and then you get a horse, but like that's about it. But I remember like one of my favorite things about this game was eventually like you start getting really powerful and really good, and you could take over Nazi turrets and use them against basically like airfare and stuff like that, and anyone who was coming at you. You could take down. So I remember just like being camped on a roof and just shooting down Nazi planes for like an entire afternoon, and people would kind of climb up to kill me, and I'd kill them, and it was just like a full hour and a half of me just being like, I'm killing it, I'm taking down everybody in this town. And it was like, the story was super fun. It's just a really slept on open world game. It had a lot of great ideas, and I guess also nudity, and it sucks that you can't buy it now. And also, if you bought that DLC to show the boobies, you have to tell everybody what your name is and put a picture of yourself.
You have to disclose that.
All right,
so future friendships.
Not sure how to transition from that, but I like Lego Marvel Superheroes a lot. I think that's a very good open world game. The later Lego games they mess around with like larger hub areas, and obviously the missions are kind of in their own little sections. As a longtime Marvel fan, this is, I still think, one of my favorite Marvel games ever, because it managed to sidestep the weird, crappy politics between like Fox and Disney and who owned rights to which. And it's like, you can have you can have Captain America and Venom and Wolverine all hanging out together, and they're not worried about whose divorced parents want them for which weekends. And
Mhm.
it's got some. I mean, it's there's stuff in here that made me hope that we were getting Lego sets of it. I think there's rumors they're going to do an Xavier's Mansion, which I would probably spend a
Oh my
bunch of money
God.
on. But this is a super fun, super cute little game. Just really good balance of like, hey, classic throwback, Marvel references, but also, it's a Lego game. You kind of know
Yeah.
what to expect. They do a good job with that.
Mhm.
And I just, yeah, I remember like I didn't platinum it, but I was very tempted because it has some really funny ones where it's like transform into the Hulk enough to, or it's like transform as Stan Lee into the Hulk or something. I forget exactly, but they do some playful stuff in there. Uh, and it's yeah, it covers a lot of bases that I don't know the second one didn't touch because they cut out a bunch of the Fox owned characters, and it I feel like was way more comics oriented than like the Marvel's Avengers Lego game, which was just tying into the movies, which felt kind of like one dimensional in that sense. But this is like there's Moon Knight. Moon Knight's in it. You kids
Mhm.
love Moon Knight, don't you? Anyway, yeah, Lego Marvel superheroes. That's a really fun one. People love to throw around the word underrated, but it basically just means the one that you don't think gets enough love. And those are some
Yes.
that we
Underappreciated.
underappreciated.
Hey everyone, it's Red the producer just hijacking the podcast real quick just to say, one of the most underappreciated open world RPGs out right now is Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. It's getting a sequel soon, and you should totally play it if you haven't already. It's a good mix of Monster Hunter and Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah, really good. So yeah, gotta go. Beyond.